Hi boys and girls, it's John Mortimer from JBM Fitness. Usual YouTube, BS, subscribe, follow me, etc. and hope you enjoy the video. Tonight I'm just doing a quick read through actually of a book I've been reading. I've not quite finished it, but enough so far. But Elma Stuart's book, What Must I Do to Get Well and How Can I Keep So? I found this book through one of Dr. Anthony Chaffee's posts on Instagram, and I thought I'd give it a go because it mentions basically a carnivorous type diet that was used. But this is the book. I hope you can, yeah, you can just about see that, and you can get that on Amazon for about £8 or something like that, maybe a tenner. But Elma Stuart was basically a nutritionist slash wannabe doctor or something like that at the end of the 18th century, around 1890, if I remember rightly. And she helped a lot of people using a doctor's prescription, which was basically hot water several times a day. I think it was about 3 pints of that, and basically the carnivore diet. So it says he stated to use strictly minced beef, but also then later goes on to say that you can introduce other meats and some veg, blah, blah. But basically, mainly minced beef. But I'm going to read you a part out of this book. Hopefully my reading voice isn't too terrible. But to do with gout, because that's what I had all last year. And it's quite interesting to see, even back then, that they say had a way of curing. That's probably a wrong term because, you know, everyone experiences it different. But it's just interesting to see that they weren't, that this lady was trying to cure these things using a different diet. Anyway, let's crack on. So number 7 here, gout. Under this heading are classed in ordinary practice cystinic, I think that's the word, rheumatism, which is no gout at all, and gout proper, a quite distinct and rarer disease. I've explained the cause and cure of cystinic rheumatism, frightfully prevalent all over the world, the foods that produce it being everywhere very largely indulged in. The poor seldom have gout proper, though they suffer extensively from cystinic rheumatism. Gout proper is an entirely distinct disease in its cause and genesis and requires different handling therefore. It is produced by too free indulgence in sweet, acid and heavy wines, sweet and acid fruits, together with excessive use of sweet things and other fermenting foods. The immoderate and continued use of these results in fermentation in the stomach and duodenum, causing reverse peristalsis, work in the biliary secretions up into the stomach and back into the gall ducts and gallbladder. Before the gouty pains declare themselves, the urine becomes high-coloured and scanty, the stomach full of bile, the heart weak, and gloom and depression cloud the entire organism. The chronic biliousness thus produced completely saturates the system with bile, which is absorbed and carried off through the kidneys and skin. This makes the skin and kidneys sluggish, and in consequence of the scantily eliminated urine, the system little by little gets overcharged with uric acid and urate of soda. These deposits, being insoluble, gradually accumulate, first in the joints of the extremities, the farthest removed from the heart, always weak in this disease, and later on pervading the entire organism, causing the painful and dangerous disease known as gout. Yeah, I'm just going to have a quick pause there because I'm getting a bit dry. But yeah, I mean, effectively, the uric acid crystals build up in the joints. We know this. There's a lot of evidence to suggest that also it can give you heart trouble as well. People with gout eventually go on, Jesus Christ, eventually go on to get heart issues there. Okay, so we know that. And basically it's from fermentation. So I think what they've worked out is that, the gut is getting inflamed. Right, let's try and carry on if I can. You will see from this that it is not nitrogenous food that causes gout, but food and drinks that ferment, producing biliousness and sluggish kidneys, which become unable to eliminate urates and uric acid formed in the body. To cure gout is a slower process than the cure of systemic, I'll get that word right eventually, systemic rheumatism, for the simple reason that uric acid and urates are more insoluble than cystine. But gout is perfectly curable even when hereditary and of very long standing if the patient carefully and persistently follows the one true course, which is just to make back tracks and back gracefully out of the hole by the same way that he got himself into. Now for the way out. Okay, right, so number one, stop the wines that are fermenting in the stomach and bowels. Makes sense. It's also a poison. It's the deadly triad. You've got maltose, fructose, and the alcohol itself. So, okay. Number two, wash. Number two, wash out the stomach and upper bowel daily by the free and copious use of warm water taken as directed, so as to ensure free action of the kidneys to help the downward peristalsis and thereby prevent the bile from working up into the stomach, etc. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, you're trying to wash the system out. We're told this if you've got gout, try and hydrate yourself as much as possible with water, yeah, or coffee or whatever. It does state coffee in here that you can drink that. I drink coffee like a loony, so what the hell. Number three, feed upon the foods that do not ferment. The muscle pulp of beef is usually the best food that can be taken in these cases. No drinks or fluids are allowed as meals at meals except a small cup of clear tea or coffee or hot water, which should be given towards the end of the meal. So you basically can use that food properly at the time, rather than trying to get rid of fluid, I guess. I don't know. So the last one here, I think, yeah. 4, avoid all fatigue to mind and body. Keep the bowels freely open with from 1 to 2 movements every day. One suits me, but okay, maybe. By patiently and perseveringly following out the plan here laid down, the urine soon becomes clear, flowing at the rate of from 2 to 3 quarts daily. The appetite improves, the skin grows fresh, the pains disappear, and enlargement of joints gradually subsides. This last process is slow, the reason for which I have explained. Here then is the only efficacious cure for gout, because based upon exact knowledge and removal of its origins. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so as I was saying, that's effectively what the carnivore diet does anyway. I mean, you know, you're trying to hydrate properly. You're trying to put the least aggravating foods in your stomach to calm that down. We're fairly certain that the cause of gout, and this is backed by Dr. Berry, and who's the other one? There's another one as well that backed this, another known one. Anyway, but yeah, so you take in too much carbs, you spike insulin, that causes inflammation, and that will lock onto anything and potentially cause an autoimmune issue. But if you're taking in carbs, they will compete with the uric acid, which is, you know, loads of that's made by the body every day, but it competes with that, and the carbs basically win. So the uric acid builds up, and that causes it. But as you can see, they effectively, I don't know how much of the pathophysiology behind that they knew, but at least they had a damn good idea. They weren't talking about taking tablets and things like that. Just food for thought. You know, every time you go and take tablets, you think, oh, that will cure it. Why not give this Dr. Salisbury diet a go? I'm not saying maybe go that strict, but hey, why not anyway? Check the book out. Check the book out. I'll have a lot of more videos coming soon, basically about the book and other subjects to do with the carnivore diet. Hope it wasn't too boring. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe, and I will see you soon.